Lynn, hello. Michelle, hello. And I have Michelle Mashalagua. You can help me with the pronunciation of that. I'd appreciate it. It's so glad to have you here. Today, we are talking about LinkedIn Live. Although we are on a couple different channels, we're talking about LinkedIn Live. I am really excited about this because if you want more from LinkedIn, I'm going to show you how to get more from LinkedIn Live. And look at those reflective glasses. Oops. So today we're getting back to the basics. To get more out of LinkedIn, I'm giving you an introduction to LinkedIn live streamings and its benefits. Yes. And why? Because I'm on a mission to empower you to speak up and increase your impact. Today's session will cover how to use the LinkedIn platform to raise your voice, share your story, grow your community. This is so important, right? So that you can establish yourself as the go-to person in your field, in your niche, in your community, wherever it is that you are looking to make an impact. If we haven't met before, hi, I'm Elizabeth, joining you live from Vienna, Austria. I see we have people coming in from several different places. You can go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know, where are you listening in from? I'd love to know that. Keep that comment section warmed up. Drop those emojis. Let me know that you can see and hear everything. Welcome to you. Right, so if you haven't met before, I'm Elizabeth from Vienna, Austria, and I've been doing live events since before the pandemic. Crazy, right? And I will give you tips to show up and speak up as confident leaders. That's what it's about. That's what we're talking about today. LinkedIn Live with live streaming and its benefits. If you're just clicking in now, just wanted to tell you what today is about. And something super important today for those of you, who may not know, today's my baby brother's birthday. Oops, it's very reflective. That's my baby brother. This one is my baby brother, even though he's like double my size. And that's my nephew. There's my baby brother. Happy birthday, Chad. Happy birthday. Last day of spring, first day of summer, kicking off tomorrow. Are you ready for it? I'm ready for it. So today we're talking about how LinkedIn Live, I'm going to show you how it can be the quick and easy way to raise your voice, share your story, and grow your community. But Elizabeth, why is that important? Great question. So glad you asked. Let's start with the benefits of live streaming. I can tell you it instantly gives people that magic feeling of actually knowing you, even if you've never met in real life. I'm going to tell you a personal story. I met a woman, I had a contact with a woman, Catherine Reed, on LinkedIn. You can find her in my contacts. And we had been chatting, communicating. We even met on an audio event at one point, commenting in the DMs. And we found we had a lot in common, a lot to talk about. And then while she was visiting Vienna, we met in person. And unlike a lot of first-time meetings like blind dates, or none of that awkwardness was there. It was almost meeting someone we already knew. She also does live events. And so we had that familiarity that we already know each other. So how do live events provide this for you? I mean, it's a video, right? It's a video. So how does it do it? One, it offers real-time engagement. Unlike text posts, which are only words, live streaming lets you interact with people in real time. You can answer questions, engage, address concerns on the spot. Do you want proof of that? Do you want proof? Don't believe me? Drop me a question right now. Drop an emoji, drop a comment right now. If you're not able to do that, make sure we're connected so you have access and the rights to comment. And I'll respond to you to show you that instant, hi, Deborah, lovely to have you here. So glad to see you. Boom, that's what I'm talking about, that instant interaction. So glad to see you here. And she's a guest on one of my lives. The second thing that a live event can do for you is authenticity. Now, I know you hear, be authentic, be real, be authentic. But you know what? It's not just a buzzword, even though it's buzzing around. Going live shows the real person behind the brand or the company or the business. It's you, the real person behind the brand, with no filters, no editing, no quick cuts and getting rid of this or that or that, right? You might, when you're looking into the camera, you might think it feels weird or wrong. But believe it or not, it actually helps build trust and deeper connections. How I act and behave and speak on a live session, this is exactly how I am on a call, in a meeting, when we're working together. So you already have that feeling that you know me as soon as I answer the phone, get on a call, or start having a conversation with you. That is a huge benefit of a live. Fewer surprises. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Third benefit of a live streaming session is visibility boost. LinkedIn promotes live videos differently than standard posts. You're getting 7 times the reaction, 24 times the comments, and it's not about perfection. It's about increasing your chances of being seen by a larger audience. I'm talking about people who want to hear what you're saying. Sarah, hi, welcome, Sarah. So glad to have you joining us from Scotland. Super. Glad to have you here. And did you know this, I think, is super exciting and has been new since I started doing live sessions. But did you know that when you're doing a live session, now I have to pull up my profile here. When you're doing a live session, LinkedIn automatically streams your live to your profile page. So this is my profile page and it shows the live. It might be a little bit overwhelmed at the moment, or it's a little overwhelmed at the moment and it's not showing the video, but it streams it directly to the banner section on my phone or on my profile page. And depending on which tool you're using, what StreamYard, Restream, Zoom, there are a number of tools out there, Ecamm, you can actually stream and interact on multiple platforms at the same time. This is usually only offered as a paid service, not the free service, but you can do it on multiple platforms at the same time. For example, today I am on LinkedIn. Hello, LinkedIn. I'm on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. And I'm on Instagram. Hello, Instagram. So glad to have you all here for this live session. And I have people commenting from multiple places. I so much appreciate that. And you might be asking yourself, but Elizabeth, why is that important for business? Like, what does that matter, right? I don't want to be a superstar or famous. Why this is important for business, it triggers that, and you've probably heard this before, that know, like, and trust response, right? We want people to know you, to recognize you, to like you, to trust you. People work with people they trust. They do business with people they trust. They pay people who they trust. This is important. This is important for your success, right? The other thing it triggers is that attract and repel response. You're attracting the people who like you, who like your style, who like the content you're putting out, who like the information you're sharing, and repel the people who don't like what you have to say, who don't like your style, because that's actually what you want. I can do that in a live video rather than having to have individual calls or start projects with people and then find out we're not a good match. It's about finding a good match, right? And connect with the people who want to hear from you. And when you're doing a live, you're in complete control of your message. You are in complete control of your message, what you say, how you say, and everything that's involved with that, rather than having a newspaper or someone else print your story. All right, so that's the first section I wanted to share. I wanted to talk about the benefits. If you can just drop a comment, I want to know, what what was like an aha moment or something you didn't think about before? Maybe a new idea or benefit you didn't realize. Let me know in the comments so I can see what is the most valuable for you, because that's what I care. I want to tell you and help you understand the things that are most valuable for you. Great. So while you're commenting there, I want to go move on to the next section. Once we've talked about the benefits, the next question most people have is, but Elizabeth, how do I start? Which is a great question. And I'm actually just going to pull this up. Yeah, it's a great question. How do I start? And we have 5 people here live. Yoo-hoo! On LinkedIn. Love it. Let's start with a slideshow because I have slides today. I have to put it up here. And as I mentioned, I've been doing live sessions for a while. I've been doing LinkedIn Live specifically sessions for a while. And I found that there are 4 basic pillars that you need, that you can leverage and pool to increase your impact, to increase the benefit of what you're offering and what you're gaining from your efforts. And the first one is verbal branding. And then you also see here LinkedIn presence, video content, and tech readiness. Let's dive into that. So verbal branding, what do I mean by that? That's actually kind of where I started. Verbal branding is your personal brand. It's your messaging. It's your expertise. It's the words you use, how you say them, the messaging that you deliver and connect with your audience. The second thing you need is LinkedIn presence. So you need to be active on LinkedIn. And we're going to talk about the specifics of this in a minute, but just as a general overview, it's your online presence, thought leadership. How are you contributing? Are you showing up? That's pretty important. And strategic engagement, because it is fun to engage and be involved with people, but it matters who you're involved with. It's fun and easy to complain about the algorithm, but really it's our responsibility to give it the right information so they know what kind of content we want, who we want to engage with, and how we want to engage. The third pillar is video content. So this is about engagement, storytelling, messaging, having a value-focused content and a strategy. What are you actually sharing in each and every episode, as well as the overall view? And tech readiness. Tech readiness. Now, this is the 4th pillar. But before we get into that, I want to raise a question that Sarah Clayton asked prior to this event that I want to share and address right now. How to choose which content to do live to give the greatest benefit. And I love this question because it highlights that Sarah, just like me, we both want to give benefit and value to our viewers. Like if you're investing your time, I want to reward that. So my quick answer to that and how I do it and how I recommend you do it is ask. Ask people what is most valuable for you. How to do that? You can ask in the DM. Before this session, if you got a DM from me, yep, I want to know what's valuable for you. And maybe you can ask your clients, you can ask your customers. But if you're just starting out and you're like, but Elizabeth, no, I don't have anyone to ask. All right, not a problem. Look around, sniff around. What are people talking about on LinkedIn? Maybe in LinkedIn Live events of other people, in posts, in comments, in trade shows or in-person events. What are people talking about and asking about? You can look at the keynote speaker. What are the topics, the breakout sessions? At one point, I was even looking at trending books on Amazon, depending on your niche, and just looking at the chapter titles. What do people want to know about? What are the hot topics right now? YouTube is another great place to look at for hot topics. And I want to raise an example from Michelle, who's in our audience right now. Michelle, listening from Florida. Hello, hello, hello. So glad to have you here. She does something that I want to highlight is brilliant. Every 2 months, she receives the Harvard Business Reviews. That's 6 times per year. She's reading it. She's into it. She's on it. for her business. She's in it anyway. So she does a LinkedIn Live review of the Harvard Business Review. That's great content, on point, brilliant session. She adds her twists, gives the insights, lets her audience know how they can use this information and apply it to their niche. It's brilliant. So I applaud you, Michelle. Yay, Michelle. So that's something you can use. Use content that's already out there for your benefit, right? So now let's talk about tech readiness. So what are the biggest challenges, obstacles, sticking point, plus what you should do about it? So I'm going to go to the next slide and ask, how do you feel about the idea of hosting a LinkedIn Live session? How do you feel about that? Drop an emoji. Which of these emojis is you? Which one is you? Which one you're like, oh my gosh, Elizabeth, this is me when I'm thinking about doing a LinkedIn Live event right now. How do you feel about that? So when you want to do a LinkedIn Live event, the first question, I'm just going to start on this while you're dropping those emojis. The first question, and if you're not able to comment or drop an emoji, then please make sure we're connected so that you're able to do that. So so the first question is, do I have permission from LinkedIn? Do I have permission from LinkedIn? Do I have that status and that eligibility to do a LinkedIn Live event? So I'm going to show you an easy, quick way to see that. And I'm going to show you with a video right here, starting from the video. And it's a silent video. So here you can see I'm going to my profile. This is my profile page, and I'm scrolling down to the create a post. Here you see a lot of my events, but create a post. So I click on that, and here's a post right here, and I'm clicking on the more button, and right there I see the button create an event. This is how I create an event. But we're going to stop the video right there. We're going to stop the video right there because when you do that, if you don't have permission yet to create an event, what does that look like? So that's what it looks like if you can create an event. But if you can't create an event, oops, sorry. This is the screen you'll see. I'll even increase it a bit here. If you don't have access, there we go, full screen. If you don't have LinkedIn Live access, it says, you'll see the screen. Members and pages must have more than 150 followers or connections. So either way, if you have 150, you're good to go. When you're first starting out, that may seem like a lot, but you'll be surprised at how quickly your numbers can grow. And if you need more information about that, drop a comment and we can talk about that. Number 2, you must have a good standing record as defined by LinkedIn community policies. So basically, how are you interacting? Are you a stinky poo and causing drama? Are you adding value? Are you engaging? Are you a silent Sammy and not doing anything? LinkedIn wants you to be involved, and they reward you by then giving you more capabilities. Number 3, LinkedIn Live is not available in China. Sorry, but true. It's not up to me. I haven't decided. There's also, you can learn more. And yeah, note, this is at the bottom here. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but LinkedIn approves pages and profiles separately. So it's possible that your profile meets the requirements, but not your page, or vice versa. So if you think you should have access, but it looks like you don't, let us know. There are ways to contact them directly. So that's all about that. The other thing I want to share, I'm going to exit the full screen layout, but show you the other 2 slides quickly. This is about creating and hosting LinkedIn Live access criteria. And this is if you click on the learn more, and you can get more clear information. They also talk about the geography and how it's not available in China, but this is the full page. And at the bottom of that page, it shows you there are links for how to create an event and how to use a third-party tool. So they get into the minutia there. So that's all available for you from LinkedIn itself. And I just wanted to share those links. If you want me to share those links, like give you access to them, I can put the links in the chat afterwards if you want. What I would like to do right now, we still have some minutes left. I would like to create an event together. Create a LinkedIn Live event for August 1st. And the question is, I'm going to show you how to do it within LinkedIn. It's different. There are tools and software that can set this up for you via the tool or software. So this is separate. I'm showing you how to set it up in LinkedIn. So let's pull this screen back up. And here, let's go back. As I mentioned, this is a video, and you can see how I'm creating the event directly in LinkedIn. And I'm going to start with a cover image. I created my cover image for this event that we're creating. This is going to be published for August 1st, so you can join me. You can even pre-register. I'm going to put this picture in, and I'm going to show you, if you watch here, this alt text. You can edit the photo in LinkedIn itself, though I don't recommend it. And you can add an alternative text here, which I recommend. And why? Because it increases accessibility. So for people who are not able to see the visual image, you can give a text version. I believe in my heart of hearts that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and you're only given 300 characters here. So what I recommend is that you do put some text there. Usually I put the text, what is the text in the image, and then a description of the image. Totally worth the extra few minutes it takes to do that. All right. And you probably don't need me to type that all out, so I pushed it forward a little bit so you can see that. Is there a technical problem? All right, so we're back on the page, and I chose a LinkedIn Live, and now I'm putting in the title. So I'm copying and pasting the title from Notion, and I'm just going to pop it in there. So the event format is LinkedIn Live, and now we're picking the start time for this event. Now, I always choose the one for Vienna because that's the city I'm in. I'm not sure if it makes a difference if I choose a different city. The date, as I mentioned, we're doing August 1st. The time, you can scroll down and select the time, or, which I did there, or you can just type in the 24-hour clock and it'll put in the correct time. For the description, I'm going back to Notion and copying and pasting that. And I'm not promoting Notion. I'm not trying to force Notion on you. However, if you do use Notion, I should let you know that some of the reformatting isn't as slick and smooth. Lynn just mentioned, thought of something else. In the era of AI-assisted writing, Live is so far an invaluable way to showcase the real human to potential employers and audience. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely for potential employers, because they will look you up on LinkedIn. Recruiters also, and your audience. And your audience can either be clients that you're working with or people you want to partner with. Another thing that is a growing trend on LinkedIn is I'm going to talk while I'm editing that. Here. Oh dear. Let's stop that for a second. What I want to talk about is that many companies are really encouraging people from within their company to be spokespeople. So rather than hiring an influencer, they're really boosting influencer types from within. So if you already have experience with that, that makes you a very attractive asset to the company. So, right. So I posted this. I want to back up because I was talking. So there is the text. Let's go back to this. Speakers. I've added me as a speaker. This is key. And here are the LinkedIn policies and information there that I recommend you read at least once. as soon as you go to post it, LinkedIn instantly has you make a post. They instantly have you make a post on your feed that you've created this event. And when you click on the thing at the top, which says who has access to this, here you can see my mouse is there on comment control. Right now, it's connections only. I recommend changing that because then when people are in your live event, once your event's posted, you can't change that. And it's set to connections only. So that means if you're not my connection, you can't comment during the live event. Ugh, so do change that. All right, let's put the video forward. And thanks for that comment, Lynn. That was super. All right, so there you can decide on which pages and where you want to have it posted. In which groups you're in, you can have it share to multiple groups or the post go to multiple groups. And then I'm going to have this post, I'm going to copy and paste it directly in from Notion to there. And this is where it gets quite long because of the Notion separation. I had to edit that a bit. So you'll see me editing that for a while. And I gladly field some questions or anything you want to comment to about while that's happening. This is looking so great. So I did a scroll over and now I'm just adjusting it to make it more scannable, easier to read, more comfortable to read. So that's my post and you will be able to see this live once we're finished, once I post it. Now, you don't need to see me edit this all the way, so I'm going to push this to the end of the video. Let's see. Nope, wait, a little bit too far. A little bit. Elizabeth, there we go. All right, so I just finished editing. You can see the images below, the details. Double check the details here. If you want, you can use that button to rewrite with AI. And if you noticed here, I have this button, schedule for later, which LinkedIn gives you the option to schedule posts. With an event, you cannot schedule this for later. It does not allow you to schedule this for later. So it's a nice idea, but you can't release that. So you want to, that's why it's nice to have the copy paste put in because you can't save it. You can't schedule it for later. It needs to go live as soon as you do it and you hit post. There it is, that magic blue button there at the bottom. Fantastic. Now I have a question for you right here. It's my doggo meter. It's my doggo meter. When you think about creating a live event, how do you feel right now? Which dog-o-meter are you? Which dog-o-meter are you? Go ahead and drop a letter, A, B, C, or D. Which dog-o-meter are you? Oh my goodness. Which doggo-meter? A, B, C, or D? I would say when I first started LinkedIn live events, I was definitely a D. I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. But then as I got into it a little bit more, I was a B, like, wow, what are all the cool things I can do with this? I'm making connections. I'm having conversations. We're taking the conversations off the live event and connecting with people in a real, authentic way. It was so exciting. And then I shifted to C. So I'm a DBC dog. Which dog are you when you think about creating live events? Which dog are you? Ah, Lynn, Flybell Art, I see you with the monkey face. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I hear you. It's a process. It is a process and it can be a fun one. So one question I do get asked a lot, I'm going to put the doggy meter down, the doggo meter down, is what I'm going to give you some clear tips on the best way to measure your success for LinkedIn live events. What is the best way to know, is it worth my time? Should I keep doing this? Should I quit? What's going on? So I'm going to give this to you real sparky quick so we can finish in the next few minutes. And the best way to measure your success for LinkedIn live events and pretty much anything else you do is to know, what is your goal? What is your goal? Why are you doing it in the first place? Some of the usual measurements are more reach. So then we would look at impressions. Sarah, you're a bee dog. Should I bring the doggies back? There seems to be a delay. I'm adding that back to the stage. We've got a bee. Big question marks. I feel ya. I've been there. It's part like confusion. How do I do this? And part, there's more? I had both. So quick tips, getting back to that. Some of the usual measurements for measuring your success is more reach. So then we're going to look at impressions. If you want more engagement, look at the number of comments and reactions. Some of the less common measurements for success, more DMs. If you want to know what's a DM, Elizabeth? It's direct messaging. It's basically a private message within the LinkedIn stratosphere. So within that environment, you can send private messages. They're called DMs. So if you want to know if your LinkedIn Live event is giving you more messages, private messages, you can use a code word and say, hey, if you want to know more about this, you can say, drop the word in the comments, code word, let's say chapstick or Burt's Bees in the comments, or send me a DM with the word chapstick, or send me a DM with the word Flight of the Navigator. I wouldn't recommend that one. It's too long, but something short and sweet. Ice cream. That's a great way to know and have a direct measurement, and you can track that. If you want more trust, how I measure this is, I can't tell you, I've been told so many times, hey, when I first meet someone, hey, I know you, either at an in-person event or even in a restaurant. People have come up to me, I've seen your videos. And it's a good feeling. Or maybe it's when I'm popping on a call for the first time, a consultation call, and people get that feeling that they know me. I want to give you a story here of LinkedIn contact that I met, and I mentioned earlier, Catherine Reed. So we had already spoken. She was coming into Vienna. We decided to meet for lunch. And it was that instant feeling of, for both of us, hey, I know you. And there wasn't that awkward first date, how's this going to go feeling. It was completely comfortable. So that's a very good feeling. If you want more clients, you can ask, if that's your goal to get more clients, you can ask the question, how did you hear about me once they're a client? What made you decide that this is the time to buy this product now? What changed your mind? I know you've been thinking about this. Just ask them. And here's another one. Maybe your goal, how to measure the success of your LinkedIn Live event, could be the goal of more confidence, more transferable confidence. And what do I mean by that? The more you do LinkedIn Lives events, the more you show up, the more you're speaking out, you will gain confidence. I promise. I promise. You might have heard the saying, practice makes perfect or practice makes permanent. You're building up those muscles. You're showing up at the gym. You're gaining confidence with tech, confidence with speaking, confidence with presenting, confidence with sharing your story, answering questions, giving feedback, interacting with a live audience. It's actually all the benefits of public speaking, and you can still be in your pajamas. Ooh, did I say that? And the fun thing about this is the confidence I find is transferable. So maybe I'm getting confidence speaking out, or I'm focusing on sharing my story in an engaging way and trying to get more reactions or connections that way. But the confidence is transferable. And I'm going to give a story of Christine. Christine was sitting in a meeting for work recently, and it was a really awkward, potentially awkward situation. So the meeting started, the clients were there, the listeners were there, the audience was there, she was there, but the presenter was not there. They were sending private messages. Where are you? Show up. What's happening? The presenter was not there, and they were live. This was a live Zoom meeting, I think, which is, a different thing than LinkedIn Live. However, She was cool, calm, and collected. This was not a problem for her. We had already done 3 LinkedIn Lives together. She felt totally calm, cool, collected, and knew just what to do to engage her audience, get everyone primed and ready to listen and move forward with the meeting as soon as the presenter showed up. So she was ready. Transferable confidence. And next week, I'm going to close this up. Now we're coming to the end of our time. Next week, I have two amazing guests sharing their stories, their personal stories, their experiences, their business, and insights with you. The first one is on Thursday, Tom Jepson from the UK, and Christy Whitekettle, dear friend of mine, joining us live from Rwanda. Super excited. I don't want you to miss this. And my mission, I will say it again because I mentioned at the beginning, if you joined us coming in a little later, my mission is to empower you to do live events. Do you want to join me? Yes or no, or thinking about it? Maybe. Either way, connect with me on LinkedIn. And I encourage you, let me get the next slide here. I encourage you to take my Go Live Ease diagnostic quiz. It takes 3 minutes and you just ask a few questions to dig to the heart of how ready are you? What is your readiness? How are you with these 4 pillars? What's missing? Where can we pull the lever or increase a little bit, a tiny bit of investment on your part to really increase your impact, expand your reach, and connect with the people who are waiting to hear from you. Yeah, because that's 100% true. There are people searching and waiting to hear what you have to share. And I know you can do this. I'm going to drop that link in the comments. That's the link for the quiz. So you can take that, or you can use your smartphone to scan that. So that only went to one channel. So I'll follow up after this event is over to finish all of those channels. So I'm going to leave that up there. Thank you so much for joining me today on this lovely Thursday. And again, my mission is to empower you to speak up, use your voice, and inspire others who are waiting to hear what you have to share. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Ciao.